Oh boy. Been a while since we've been in this hot seat. Normally I've been used to standing the past couple of weekends, but this is Pull Up a Chair episode live in the Thunderdome. It's a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, snowy, sleepless Sunday, but the sun is shining. So with that being said, thank you for joining us, whether you're watching now or you're watching Ladies on the Menjay. So thank you for joining with us. We got my beautiful wife joining us, pulling up in the Thunderdome to talk some TV movies and some pro wrestling. And if you don't know this ugly mug, well, I love telling you, it is the creme de la creme, the one that they do, in fact, call him Mr. El Tuger Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Stony Montana, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, the lyrical wizard, a.k.a. Bed Burgundy. Why? Because they sleep on your boy, a.k.a. call me what you will, just never call me broke or sad, please, because it is Mr. Keep the Love High and the motherfucking hate low, baby. Whew. And the dragon never would have happened if it wasn't for me rapping. You know it's your ultimate sensei. So thank you for being tuned in for Pull Up a Chair episode 73. Let's just get right into her. Shake the rust off. How you been doing? How's everything been? I know how you've been doing, but tell them how you've been doing.
I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there? Yeah, it's been a ASAP Rocky start to the new year, so to speak. But I think everything's starting to look up and get better now. Especially, we got the sun shining, so I think that's always a good sign. I had an incident. Before we dive into anything, I figured I'd share this little ditty. Well, leaving the day job Friday night. Stop at Sheetz, get my usual stuff, brews, cigs, all that good stuff, and pick up my weed. Picking up weed there. Well, a little bit of a snowstorm on the way home, which, if you knew the car that I'm driving in, it's already a losing battle. You put that thing in a fucking bad, nasty weather condition, it gets even worse. So, I'm on way home. I'm going, if anything, I'm going under the speed limit on the highway. It's getting pretty crazy. I see a state boy. Okay. Not thinking anything. I got my cig lit, 2 eyes on the road, 2 hands on the wheel type shit. And, unfortunately, I was winner chicken dinner. Lights come on. Cops behind me. Oh, shit. I pull off onto the wrong side of the highway, per usual, as I always do, because I get into a panic. So, cop walks up, big old sheriff's hat, badge right here. I'm thinking, okay, what the fuck could this be? First thought, of course, in my head, because I've been pulled over for bad tags before, I'm like, fuck, that bitch expired, why the hell are they pulling me over? Well, reason I got pulled over was passenger side headlights out. But where this whole thing gets a funny turn is, okay, license, registration, insurance, da-da-da. Okay, license, bam, no problem. Registration, bam, boom, glove department, boom, no problem. Can't find the insurance card. Insurance card, that's gone. Fart in the wind. Out of here. So, I'm panicking. Trying to call Wifey. Trying to call Mondrino.
The car is insured.
Yes. So, I'm panicking. Trying to figure this out. He gives me a couple minutes. Comes back. Asks me if I got any drugs, bombs, or guns in the car. Drugs, bombs, guns. First off, I don't know why he would think I have a bomb, but I guess that's why you got to ask. I mean, that'd be pretty fucked up if I was like, yeah, actually, funny you mentioned that. I got hella C4 just stocked and ready to go in the trunk. But besides the point, well, weed's now legal as of November. In Ohio. So I'm thinking, because I'm not used to just being like, yes, your officer. Yes, officer, sir. I got a half ounce of fucking weed on me. Right here in the pocket, actually. But I'm thinking, well, I got to tell him. Because, I don't want to come off sketchy and lie about it. So I was like, by the way, white privilege is just going crazy right now for me. I mean, white privilege is just going stupid. But I can acknowledge that. So I, tell him, yeah, officer, I got a half ounce of marijuana on me. His face was so, he was trying to hide anger. He's just, well, you're over 21 now, so you can have that. And I could tell he's like, ooh, this was 6 months ago. I had this motherfucker. Had him. Damn it. Fuck. Oh, swipe or no swiping, I could have got him. But, yeah, it just felt so weird, though, coming out of my mouth, pause, that, yes, officer, I have a half ounce of marijuana. As I'm staring at this, I know he's a sheriff. I'm like,
it's
oh,
just
shit.
So, I don't know if the word is it ironic, because 5 years ago, we got popped with,
Literally a half gram. Like a half gram.
Literally, like, pulled over, standing on the side of the road. Luke's in the back. You're in the back of the cop car. And I'm, like, standing on the side of the road getting searched.
Over a half gram. So that shows you how much 5 years.
Ticket, like, the whole 9.
He had the dogs out for a half gram. I gotta be the only dumbass that ever had the K9 unit go into the car for a half gram of weed.
It was horrible.
That was a whole story of its own. So you got anything in the car I should be aware about? No? Okay, I'm gonna be right back.
Dog comes out.
Look in the rear view. I see a fucking German Shepherd getting out of the back seat. I'm like, there's no way.
Like we're fucked.
And he's like, so, and dog, of course, now he's starting to pick up a scent. I'm like, man, that dog's got too good of a nose. This ain't even the best shit I've smoked. Come on now, man. I'm about to get popped with a half gram of mid. What the fuck? And he took that shit too.
Yeah, he did. He probably smoked it.
Yep. Thank you, Alan, for your fucking sample that you wanted to give me. Hey, I can throw his government out there. I know that dude ain't watching. I haven't kept up with that dude in years. And I don't even know his last name. So, in fact, I don't even know if I remembered his first name correctly. But, yeah, no. So, I had to kick it off with just a wild.
He's just watching, like.
That'd be funny. I just had to kick off with a wild story, though. Just had to kick it off with a wild story. I mean, what the fuck? Highway patrolman, half ounce, right in my pocket. Warning. No problem at all, sir. Get home safe.
I'm asleep. I gotta wake up to like 5 missed calls.
Yeah, I thought I was about to have to turn into TK for a second and do the race. That would have been crazy. All over a passenger headlight turned into TK. But, okay, so I just had to share that, though. I know you guys like getting a little bit of insight into the crazy life of your ultimate sensei, and that was definitely a moment. But with that being said, now we got to pivot into reviews. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks for me. I've been really excited to just get back into this seat and kind of get back to not just being the radio guy, I also like being the pod guy, too. So with that being said, let's kick it right off with, I know Reddit was keeping up with me, and I was kind of posting on there as I was finishing each season. But now we have all 3 seasons finished. We watched it together. We can both review it together. That's what it's all about. Ted Lasso. So for those that don't know, I know I was late getting hip to it. We're like, I don't even know how late we are at this point. But we did get Apple TV. So we've been kind of catching up on some programs on there. One of the shows that I've been hearing about for years that I was so glad that we were finally able to get around to was Jason Sudeikis playing Ted Lasso in the show about him, who was an American football, like an NFL coach, who then went over there on a dime to give his family some space and started coaching a soccer team with no knowledge of how soccer goes, and kind of seeing how he goes within Richmond over there, which is the league that they chose to center the show around. But just to go right off the top, how did you feel about the show as a whole? Because I know at some point in there,
yeah, there was at some point where like it got a little
it
bit
lost
slow
you.
for me. I stuck through it and finished, but it did like a couple episodes in season 3 for sure were a little bit slow.
Explain which ones.
I don't remember.
Like I was just gonna say, like, what was it that kind of, tapered
like
it
maybe
off?
episode 4, maybe I don't really remember, but because
where it started centering around him being more sad.
Like kinda, yeah, I guess. I don't really know. I just know that there was like a couple episodes span. It could have been just one episode. I don't really remember because we like the way we watched them were like we had to break them up sometimes because of
the way that I like that they did it is, and it created that kind of where you could feel different about it. Was there were some episodes, if you remember, that really didn't even focus on Lasso much at all as a character.
Well, no, I mean because
like there'd be episodes that centered around Rebecca and Rupert. There'd be episodes that were centered around like Keely and her love triangle that she had.
Well,
she had like a love.
Obviously, that's a show.
Yeah. But, well, no, I mean like, okay, Seinfeld, for example. He's in Always the Center.
Okay, well that's ass.
Whoa, okay, that's a whole different realm we don't have to enter in. But no, I mean I liked how they did that. Like I liked how they took that approach to it. Like you got the one episode that centered all around Beard, which I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I enjoyed the show all around, like the like love angles and just the drama, obviously, and romance is great.
So with the show as a whole,
And like the moral of the show too. I mean, if you looked a little bit deeper into it, it had a lot to do with like building that like that bond with just a friend and like making a team, a family. And I feel like you can take that.
Yeah, like
I feel you could take that and like apply that to like a lot of different things in life. So
yeah, like one of the core things that they always center around that show is, and I always love it when it would come up. Kind of giving some spoilers here, but like I said, I feel like we're late to the party. So I liked when they'd be like, "Oh, coach, fuck, we're down 4, at the half.
yeah,
We're probably not going to come back. That's probably it. We're going to lose. We're down in the dumps, coach." And every single time he'd be like, "Guys, wins, losses, I don't care about anything. It's all about how we can become better as not only players, but become better as just overall human beings. And remember that we're playing this game because we love it." Like I remember in season 1 when Roy Kent, who ends up becoming a coach, he gets all like, in his head, he's pissed off. He's old. He's not playing, to the highest of like, his abilities that he was used to playing at for, his whole career. And the way Sudeikis, Lasso, was able to just be like, calming him down. And he was like, "Roy, remember why you loved this game.
Yeah.
Like you didn't chase stats when you were kicking the ball around as a kid. Like, get out there and remember that you play this game because you have fun with it. You're overthinking it out there because you're thinking too much about your stats. You're not focusing on just having fun out there."
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved how they had like, the suspense. And then there'd be sometimes where like you'd think after a big comeback speech that, oh my God, they're about to come back. In any other show, oh, here it goes. How are they going to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how there was a couple different times where it'd be like, no, there is no happy ending. Like we gave the great speech. We got the team all amped up. Everybody looks like they're ready to run through a brick wall. But we still went out there and we still lost.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like
now it shows like how, like, oh, wow. Like I remember the first time they did it in the show. I'm like, fuck, they lost. I'm like, wow. Like I didn't think they would end an episode on like, they lost.
I mean, but I feel like that's what makes the show. Like, I mean, in what world would a team win every single every single time? Like, why would that, like, that wouldn't even just make sense, like, in just real life. Like, not even, like, in real life, but, like, in just shows.
Oh, like an Air Bud? Like, Air Bud, we're down 14 points, 2-minute warning, what do we do? Get the fucking golden retriever back out here, we need him. Like, stat.
But, yeah, no, it gives it a more, like, realistic, people, like, you can relate a little bit more to it, like, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree too. And then like how I always liked how they would show how the fans in the show would react. Like they'd go to that Richmond bar, which I feel like Frankfurt, I feel like that's how you guys are laid out. But I really liked how they would like cut to the bar and like they even show how like sports can, be part of an equation that involves bar sales and like liquor sales. Like when the team there for a minute in season 2 was losing every single game, they're like, "Damn, man, like that bartender's name. Oh, damn, man. Looks like you kind of have an empty bar today. What's going on? Guys aren't winning." Yeah. And that's when Lasso kind of goes like, oh, wow, like us losing doesn't just affect the team and, jersey sales and all that. It's affecting this woman's bar even because people are so like, man, I'm not even going down there to check the game. You never have to worry about that with Browns fans. Oh, God. We go 0-16. There's shots lined up and down that bar.
Oh, 100%.
Win, lose, or draw. But no, overall, though, I thought the show was amazing. It's actually probably instantly became one of my top 10 favorite shows of all time. I definitely see myself going back and watching it more. Seasons as a whole, before we get into characters, I know, again, we only gave it one run through, but off the top of your head, what was your favorite season? I'm a big fan of the third season.
Probably season 2.
Season 2.
Everything was like, just like, great and like ooh. And getting juicy and like everything was like hitting its like climax almost. Like
you were starting to see a different side of Ted.
Yeah.
Like in season 1, he's always like, for example, one of the first lines in the show that caught my ear that grabbed me and pulled me in when he's like showing him around the around the stadium, and he showed him the training room that was supposedly cursed, haunted by ghosts. He's like, just going over the whole thing. He goes, "So, coach, you believe in ghosts?" He goes, It's hard to say. I just hope Ghost believes in themselves. And I love it how that's like how Ted would end up being. And like the little jokes that he would throw throughout. Like Beard would say something, he'd go, ooh, that's a good one. And I love the way he talked. I love the Ted accent. I do think that was Jason Sudeikis was born for that role.
Yeah, that was a good role.
Absolutely born for that role. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was a good role.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was his magnum opus. But I really loved his style of humor, how he played off a Beard. I liked how certain characters, too, at different times, they would almost like, even Rupert, who I hated Rupert. There was still that one dinner scene with him where Rebecca like started talking about like how he was growing up. And it shows him in just a small light for just 1 second. Like, oh, wow, even Rupert has like a cool side to him.
Oh, yeah.
And then like Nathan, who is just like the ball boy, essentially, for the group. You start off, you love him. He's getting bullied. You instantly, want to, defend him. Oh, man, don't bully that guy. But then by, like you said, season 2, well, now you've given him power. Now he's been an assistant coach. Oh, you didn't go with my play. We didn't win off my play, Ted. Rip up that believe sign. I can go coach somewhere else. I don't need you. And then you're like, well, fuck you, Nate. Like, damn it. Like, he gave you a whole gig, and then you fucking ruined it to the ground, and you went with Rupert. But now that we're mentioning characters' names, though, and we said, our favorite season, who was your favorite characters, least favorite characters? And was there at any point where a character turned for you, like how I mentioned with Nate?
So obviously Ted Lasso is like one of my faves. I like Keely a lot.
I know you like Keely.
I think Jamie
Tart?
Yeah, Jamie, like I didn't like him, and then I ended up liking him, and then like it just kind of like went like he's okay. Same thing with Roy. Like Roy, like I just never really liked. Like I just felt like he was too much of a dick.
He wasn't really high on my list.
Oh gosh. Nathan, he did that little flip for me. But
I hated him in season 2, but I loved him in 1 and 3.
And towards the end of 3, he flipped back for me. And then that's really much it of like the characters that like I liked a lot.
How about
and Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I liked her a lot too.
Hell yeah.
Well, I didn't like her like in the beginning, obviously, until like you get to know her. And, like,
I mean, right at the beginning of season 1.
Shell, then.
Yeah. Which they kind of let season 1 for the first half of it. She was like purposely trying to sabotage the team. Rupert, for those who don't know, that's her ex-husband. He had to give her half the stake, I think, in the team. I think that's how she got it.
No, it wasn't half, but
it was something. Because she ended up selling it. Yeah,
she ended up with half, but she didn't.
Yeah,
have half to begin with.
That's a big spoiler. That's the end of the show. But okay, so you said your favorites were like Ted, Keely. Those were like your 2 like more so favorites. Your ones that you didn't like were, because I know you said Nate kind of changed, but I'm assuming you hated Rupert.
Oh yeah, I didn't even count him as like really part of the show. He wasn't.
He kind of had a pretty big role.
I wouldn't say like that. I mean, he had
good screen time.
I don't know if I would say that.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't like a part of every episode, but when he was a part of episodes, I mean, I think he had pretty good runtime. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Somebody on Reddit's going to let us know who's right on that one.
I mean, I think like he would have like, I feel like he would have like small, like maybe a minute or 2, like small scenes, but like I don't think anything consistent at all. They talked about him a lot. Yeah. Like they focused a lot around, especially with Rebecca and stuff. Yes. But I wouldn't say that they showed him a ton. Maybe towards like the end when like things were starting to get like more involved with like the company and stuff. Yes, there was like maybe like 2 or 3 episodes span where he was involved a little bit more because of just what was going on in like those scenes. But I wouldn't say that he was a consistent portion of that.
I think he was in season 3, and I'm only saying that because if you remember, season 3 was heavily centered around Richmond and West Ham.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like that. But I wouldn't say throughout the entire series there he was a consistent portion of being shown. talked about, yes, obviously, because that was a basis of the show. But I mean, shown screen time Rupert. I don't.
You know what I think it was is that I just hated him so much when he was on screen.
But again,
that I might feel like I saw him more than I actually did.
But maybe we'll have to watch it again and kind of see.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely a show I plan on rewatching.
Maybe I'm crazy, but I just feel like I didn't see him a ton. Like, yeah, a little, but I just don't feel like it was a ton.
Well, my favorite characters, least favorite characters, start with favorites. Obviously, Ted. Ted's up there. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, Ted Lasso as a character. That was my favorite character on the show. But number 2 for me, which I think is where it's going to get interesting, and I think this one might even shock you. My second favorite character on Ted Lasso is actually Jamie Tart. That'd be my second favorite character. I really liked how he evolved from episode 1 to the end of season 3.
Yeah.
Like from episode 1, season 1 to the end of season 3. I don't know what character in that show had more of an evolution than Jamie Tart.
Oh, I would agree.
I mean, the moment you meet him, he's self-centered, he's arrogant, not a team player. I am the team. I'm the best. You suck. Can't beat me. And if you remember at the beginning of the show, he was dating Keely, but he was complete fuck anything in sight. Then it's like, okay, kind of starts by the end of season 1. You can tell different gears are turning. You get to see his relationship with his dad, which is what makes him the way he is. Season 2, all right, now he's, a team player. Now he's a really good guy. He's funny even, he's cool. He's showing like, hey, Keely, I did you wrong type shit, like if you want to be with Roy, be with Roy. And then you got like season 3 where now he's like tight with Roy, team leader. Zava's out. He's taken over as the team leader because he always wanted to be. He's passing it. He's doing anything he can to get the team. In fact, if you remember, there was that one episode where they were like, hey, great goal out there. And he's like, man, when I look back at it, though, I could have passed it to Rojas. And Roy's looking at him like, the dude that would never even think about passing scored a goal, and he's saying that he could have passed it off and could have got that guy the goal. Holy shit. So I love the evolution of Jamie Tart. That's my second favorite. Third favorite character, again, probably something that's going to catch you off guard, Rebecca. That's the other one that I thought had great character evolution. I loved all the scenes that she was in. I thought, I don't know the actress's name, but God almighty, she did a great job for that role. Knocked that out of the park. Loved her, obviously, her feud with Rupert. I loved how Ted was able to flip her, like with bringing in those baked goods.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's another thing with Ted. She keeps asking him, where are you getting these? Where are you getting these? Like, you bring these to me every day. Where are you getting these? And it's on like the last episode of season 1. They don't even tell you it. They just simply show you him waking up and baking and getting it going. And it like clicks after a second. You're like, oh shit. He's home. Like he's making these from scratch. That's why he never tells you where he got them from. Like even the one time Rebecca's like, seriously, you can't tell me where you got these from? He goes, oh, boss, ruined the surprise. Like, oh shit. So I thought that was awesome. Rebecca's my third favorite. Keely, I could never really get into her character too much. Like, I could, but I couldn't. I don't know. She was never one of my high on the list whenever they'd cut to her screen. Like, whenever she'd get screen time, I was never the biggest on that. You made a good point with Roy. Like, he could be funny.
Yeah.
And he could be cool, but, like, overall, it was always, like, I mean, really not until the end of season 3 do you ever see him, like, really chill out. Yeah, like, really chill out. Plus, the other thing that I think kind of goes with Keely, I didn't really like how Roy and Keely's, their relationship would work. Because it would seem like he wanted her bad. But then they would start dating, and he would be like, I can't do this. And then they, separate, and then he would be going to her house wanting her back. So I was just always kind of a little confused by that. Like, he kind of came off like a dog chasing a car. Like, it happened like 3 times, I feel like, in the show. I mean, he even fought Jamie over it at one point. Yeah. And then the same thing happened. He went to the house, left empty-handed. Like, didn't stay there with her or nothing.
Yeah, well, she chose neither of them.
Yeah.
They both left, because who does that?
They decided to duke it out. But there was one other character that we didn't mention that I think was also great in the show. Didn't play a huge role, but I thought he was great. How about Higgins? Rebecca's assistant. I thought Higgins was pretty cool.
I think he was just like a neutral character for me. Like he was like, okay, cool. Like,
well, he was one of the Diamond Dogs. Woo!
Yeah, like, he's kind of funny and stuff, but I mean, same thing with Beard. Like I liked Beard. Like he was good, but
yeah,
he's
Beard.
Just like a neutral character for me.
Beard, you more so had to laugh at like his presentation of the character.
Yeah.
Because like he was such a man of few little words. If you remember, that was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Beard, Coach Beard, what do you think? Real solid. And Lasso go, ooh, well, buddy, you don't even realize how much of a good compliment that is. Like, you know, hey, damn, you get a real solid out of Beard. Oh shit, like he's big on you. But before we close off on that review, I did just want to say, yeah, I love that Ted Lasso show. I thought they killed it. I thought they knocked it out of the park. Definitely excited to go back and check that out as well. Definitely highly recommend checking out that show as well. Apple TV is the way to go. Definitely go check that out. So now to pivot off into another review. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this one because I know you didn't watch it with me. But once again, I did let Reddit know, so I figured I'd give them an update. I know I like to give my review as a whole. I don't really update as it goes along the way. So I watched Hijack, which is also on Apple TV. Idris Elba's the lead star. And to try to explain this show, I might have to watch it again to even give a better, more in-depth review because there's so many twists and turns on the show. Moves really fast. Do I highly recommend you check it out? I don't think so. It's a good show. It's, well, first off, to give a little preface, what the Hijack show is about, for those that don't know, is Idris Elba, he's on a flight, and his family's at home. But what his family does not know is that Idris Elba is an assassin. He was on a flight. They think, it's for work. But, he was actually just got done finishing a job to perform an assassination. He's been doing criminal shit for years. He's hijacked his own plane. He's done a lot of shit. I mean, he's a hitman.
Yeah.
But when he's on this flight, two different groups of people have plans to hijack and take over this flight. But now the thing with that is, he can't go into assassin mode on the plane right away. Because if he does that, well, everybody on the plane just saw you take down multiple armed men. How the fuck could you do that if you're just an office guy? Like, so when that report would come out, the image that they're trying to paint what they're trying to paint in the show is he can't have that come out because his family would be like, well, good job, Dad. Good job, husband. But like, how the hell did you learn how to do that?
Yeah. Right.
Like, what the hell? And land the plane? You know how to land the plane? Like, what the fuck? So, immediately, it's like by the end of episode 1, you can tell because he's smart. He realizes something's up on this flight. Something's going wrong. People are making weird movements. He can tell something's up. So he follows the one dude into the bathroom. Oh, shit. There's guns strapped behind the toilet. Okay, something's definitely going on here. Yeah. So he knows. He saw the guy walking in the bathroom. He knows who he thinks it was. But again, can't just walk right up to the guy on the flight and call him out on that. Can't do it. What he doesn't know, though, is he's worried about this group. A fucking another group from, like, Coach comes flying up, guns out. They're ready to go. They're getting in the cockpit. They're putting everybody, they're getting the zip ties and shit. Well, at this point, you can tell he's like, okay, what the hell am I going to end up doing? What am I going to end up doing? It's not, though, until about episode 3 where you actually get to see him make any sort of a movement. It's just completely out of instinct. He's trying to calm down a situation. Not going to spoil it too much, but he's trying to calm down a situation. One of the guys with the gun keeps telling him, like, dude, sit down. Like, I'm not going to tell you anymore. Sit down. And when he goes to put a hand on him, he, flips him, immediately disarms, grabs the gun, and two of the other guys, start pointing on him like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Like, whoa. And you can tell the dude on the ground's like, it's not mate right here. How do you know that? How do you know how to do that? Like, damn, he just took me down, immediately disarmed. This ain't no regular guy. And that's the first time in the show where that one guy's like, nah. He goes, I don't even trust him with just the zip tie. He's like, you have anything else? And that's when they like try, tying him up like around the thing. Like, I don't even trust him with the zip tie. Then it turns into all-out war up there. You get both hostages groups. You get a woman who sneaks into the cockpit when nobody's in it, She then tries to take over the plane, and she's trying to land it. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She hits one of the buttons. It loses all their fuel. So it's like, so then they're just kind of gliding, as they say, throughout the air. But I ended up being a pretty damn action suspenseful show. Check it out if you guys would like, if you guys are into that kind of action and, insane, intense, and suspense throughout the whole show. But I heard that it got picked up for a second season. Only thing I wanted to touch on with that is, where the hell do you go with it? Because for those that have finished Hijack and have seen it, they don't really give you much. Like, I don't really...
I guess it leaves it open.
Like, spoiler alert. When the plane comes to a land, like I said, spoiler alert. When the plane comes to a land, Idris and one of the other guys, as everybody else is getting off, Idris is just about to get off when he realizes, oh shit, hold on, let me go make sure I got my phone. Like, let me make sure I got my stuff. I don't want to get tied to this at all. Like, I don't want to be tied to this at all. But what he doesn't realize is that the one guy that they forgot that was in the back of the plane that they had zipped up has now broke free. Well, he, to fuck over both of them, closes, the steps to get out of the plane while Idris is getting his phone. So while all the fucking cops are armed out there and they see that thing go up and Idris goes, hey, I just got to go grab something. Give me 1 second. When he walks back into the plane and then the steps go up, it makes it look like they're trying to bunker down in there. So the cops are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, now we got to come up there. We got to breach in. And the show ends with them getting ready to come into the plane. Idris just disarmed and killed the other guy because it turned into a fight. And he's holding the gun when the cops walk into the plane. That's how the show ends. It's him holding the gun. He's just kind of like, obviously when they walk in here, I'm holding the gun. Oh, shit. And I just put a bullet in this guy. Like, oh, damn.
Well, then it leaves it open.
So I guess it'll be exciting to see where they go with season 2. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. I don't know how late I am to that show or not. I don't think it's been out for too long. But just wanted to give my quick review on that. I thought Idris did a good job. I prefer him to be fighting large tigers, though, in the Amazon. Thought Beast was amazing. But overall, though, seeing him hijack or take over that plane, thought that was a good, solid show. So, before we save our movie review for the end of talking about some TV and some movies, next thing I just wanted to mention, because I feel like this kind of got stirred up this week with a Vanity Fair interview that Donald Glover had, a.k.a. Childish Gambino. So, for those that don't know, there's a Vanity Fair content thing that they like to shoot, where they hook you up to a lie detector and they ask you questions. So you obviously have to answer them honestly. If not, the thing will buzz off and then they tell you, hey, you just told a lie. And then it gets to awkward moment of the show. But Donald Glover was asked if he feels insulted when people compare Lil Dicky's show, Dave, to his show, Atlanta. Into which he responded, he said, oh boy, I know this is going to probably stir up some beef. But yeah, I do feel insulted when people do that. Nothing against Dave, nothing against Lil Dicky, but I just feel like his show is more comedy driven, where mine was more serious, trying to tackle real issues.
Yeah, 100%. I feel that. And I didn't even watch Atlanta.
Okay, so that is what I was about to ask you. Because I know you didn't watch Atlanta, but you did watch some of Dave. Well, we gave that a chance, and we ended up not liking it.
First season, right?
Yeah, first season, then we fell off.
I did not like that.
Yeah, I wasn't really I thought I was going to like it, but no, I wasn't a fan either. Overall, though, just with that being said, because now you got people saying, no, Dickie's better, no, Glover's better. Yeah. So, as far as rapper shows go, Donald Glover versus Dickie, all music aside, we're talking about Atlanta and we're talking about Dave. Do you think he should feel insulted?
Yes.
I also agree. I know it's always better content if we disagree, but I also agree.
I 100% think that he should feel insulted and disrespected that people are comparing Dave to a serious show that actually has meaning and
tackle real issues.
Yes. And though I haven't watched, that show, I did watch a few just small clips when you would have it on or whatever. And I think that I would gravitate towards that show more than I did Dave. And I only gave Dave, that first season, but he spoiled it for. I just did not like the show.
I'm gonna be honest. That Dave show kind of made Lil Dicky look like an asshole.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I don't know, and that's just my personal opinion on the show. And Lil Dicky, like, his show literally completely ruined his music, everything for me. I just it gives a bad taste in my mouth now.
His music ruined his music for me. I had to throw that one out there. I'm sorry, but that new Peanut album is fucking trash.
Oh yeah, that was what the hell?
But, I mean, his music videos, I'll give him that. He's always great with his music videos. Like that one where he's playing the Joker and it's like, ha ha ha. Okay, cool music video, sure.
Like, what the fuck is the Rachel McAdams?
He's got a love for Rachel McAdams.
Whatever. I don't know.
Well, I also agree, though, that he should feel insulted. And as somebody who watched all of Atlanta and did watch the first season of Dave, they're uncomparable.
Yeah.
I completely agree with what Glover said. Like, I get it. We're both artists. We're both rappers. We both have TV shows. So what does that mean? You got to compare them both. I get it. But where Lil Dicky kind of came across like almost like a semi-autobiographical version of like his come up and his career and different things that he's, seen through his perspective on the road. And I get it. There's some people that prefer that show because it's more funny. It's more jokes. If you're a fan of Lil Dicky, probably love the show. Glover never is Gambino for a second in Atlanta, where essentially in the Dave show, to my knowledge, he's essentially playing himself. Mm-hmm. Dave Bird.
Maybe just like a...
Yeah, just like a more exaggerated version of it, just for the camera's sake. But Glover, though, wrote the show, directed the show, which I'm not sure if Dicky directs the show or not, so maybe that's not fair to put on his jacket. But Glover directs the show, writes the show, stars in the show. All 3 seasons of Atlanta. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to be pissed if I forgot on the season count. But absolutely loved how they spaced it out. Loved how they did it. The characters, even the side characters for each episode. How not every episode was entwined with the other one. Just the overall, the things that they tackle on the show that would actually make you think. I think Glover is light years ahead with Atlanta compared to Dave. But as a show as a whole, though, both shows, they're almost, go back to the other thing, it's just they're hard to compare.
Yeah.
Like, they're very hard to compare. I know Vince Staples' show, which just hit Netflix as well. I'm only on episode 2, so I'm going to wait to give a full review of that. But I think he's doing his show different than Dave and different than Atlanta. Like, I'm not, I know he is playing himself in the Vince Staples show, which is kind of how Dicky does it in Dave. But Vince Staples just even said in an interview on Sway, not a single joke is told. If you find something funny, that's because you can either relate to it or you can kind of see, that perspective of it. Like, oh, wow, that's something that, he has to go through. Mm-hmm. So, that's even different than Atlanta, where, they're all playing just different characters' names. Like, nobody in Atlanta went by their real name. Yeah. So, I thought that was really cool. Which only on episode 2 of that Vince Staples show, and I do love that. Like I said, I'll wait to save the review, but I did just want to throw that out there. I am excited to watch that and finish that show. But no, Glover, greater than sign, Lil Dicky. I don't know if I'm going to stir up any of the dickheads with that one, but hey, I got my Yankees hat on today. It ain't no hater hat, but when I got this Yankees hat on, I don't mind getting into my bag a little bit. So I think Glover should feel insulted. I agree with him, damn it. So with that being said, before we pivot off into some pro wrestling, only other review then that we wanted to give was we did just watch a movie Friday night that I've been dying to watch. In fact, I wanted to catch it in the theaters around my birthday, but damn it, I just got too busy and it just fell through, so it didn't end up happening. But with that being said, we watched The Iron Claw. Bought it without even watching it. That's when you know you're jonesing for a movie. Yeah, I bought that sucker without even watching it, and I know Zac Efron having no shirt on in the trailer won her over. So that's
three-quarters of the time sold, and the movie was fantastic.
That's what I was about to say. How'd you feel about it? Loved it?
I think loved it was an understatement. I think that turned into like a southpaw for me. I loved it. The message, his life, the trauma, just opened your eyes to like what the hell people are going through. Like literally, I don't want to spoil the movie at all because just in case somebody hasn't watched it yet, but going through the trauma that he went through and then having to go into the ring and wrestle and perform and still try to provide and like all of these, that is just absolutely mind-blowing and puts a new like found respect on just people in general who you just don't know what they're going through. And very small spoiler, which maybe not spoiler because you might know just in general.
The story of the Von Erichs.
Yeah, that I lost my brother. So the relatable portion of that movie is just, I mean, whew.
Which I actually didn't even think about that going into it, but yeah, the Von Erichs, the story of Kevin Von Erich and the Von Erichs in general is the incredible strength in their brotherhood and how much they truly loved each other. Like when, you know, they asked Kevin, Zac Efron in the movie, you know, like I think Pam asked him, his wife, was like, you know, what's your favorite thing about, you know, what you do about, you know, wrestling and being in that business? Like, what's your favorite thing about it? He goes, just getting to be out there with my brothers. Like, you know, it's not about wins or losses either with them. It's all about just being out there with the bros, doing 6-man tag matches. But I will give a small spoiler just because I know it's a pretty well-known story in the wrestling world. That for those that don't know, the story of the Von Erichs, if you're thinking, why should we check out this Iron Claw movie? We don't watch wrestling. Why would we like this? Well, it's not so much a story about wrestling, even though, yes, Von Erichs are in the wrestling business and, you know, their legacy is in wrestling. They're a family that holds that, you know, there's more than one royal family in wrestling, as Cody loves to come out to. Well, the Von Erichs is one of them. And for those that don't know, there's, which they explain it in the movie in detail, but there's what they called the curse of the Von Erichs. What the curse was is that, and this is my spoiler. Yes, the movie is, you know, it can be very bright at times and very fun, but the darkness that lingers over that movie is that each of the Von Erichs, besides Kevin, who came up in wrestling, even including the father, something would always go bad. So, like, the dad's just getting ready to win, rug pulled right out from under him. So the dad then takes his dreams and tries to project them onto the kids. He wants all the kids to be in wrestling and live out the life and be the success story that he never got to be. But every time that they get close to that, and even when they do achieve that, like with Kerry Von Erich wins the world title. Insanely tremendous athlete. He goes out on a motorcycle and gets in an accident that ends up him getting his foot amputated. And then it's like him trying to get back into it. So it's just one bad, tragic thing after another that just keeps happening to that family. To the point where, spoiler, eventually people in the family start changing their name. Like, you know, they actually start changing their name.
Don't give away too much.
Don't want to give away too much. But for those that do know the story of the Von Erichs, I feel like I could break it down a little bit. And if you didn't know at all who they were or even watch wrestling, I do highly recommend checking out that movie. I think you get to see them in a much different light than you're used to. And they show a lot of different insider baseball, so to speak, on there where you get to see behind the fourth wall. But no, absolutely loved that movie. Thought they did an incredible job. And I also just wanted to throw this out during the Iron Claw review too. Zac Efron deserved some sort of a nomination at least for his portrayal of Kevin Von Erich. Because the thing about Zac Efron that I feel like just has to be said and addressed, we've watched this guy go from Troy Bolton, high school basketball singing star, to 17 again with Matthew Perry, R.I.P., to, now I'm doing kind of raunchy comedies. I'm doing Neighbors. And then now you're telling me this dude's talented enough where he could turn around, do all of this preparation to be this role, and play Kevin Von Erich and actually learn how to wrestle and take bumps and shit. Zac Efron, man, I salute you. You really swayed my...
He knocked Ted Bundy out of the park, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he did play Ted Bundy.
I think that was like maybe one of his first serious roles.
Maybe? I forgot he did play Ted Bundy.
I could be wrong on that, but I think...
Did I watch that?
Yes, we watched that together.
I watched that whole thing?
Yes.
Damn, too many of these serial killers. I'm getting them mixed up.
You're probably thinking of Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's
what
I
like that one a lot too, but we watched Ted Bundy. We can watch it again.
Oh yeah. But no, I thought Zac Efron though that really changed my opinion on him as an actor. I mean, that was like you went like that. That was he knocked it out of the park. Look, I'm not saying he has to win over Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer because I know that's who they're going to literally hand the bitch to. But I think Zac Efron should have got at least a nomination.
I can't believe that.
Nothing. Didn't get a single. Maybe it missed its cutoff line. Maybe it missed the deadline or something. But no, I highly recommend checking out Iron Claw. Just timestamp that one real quick. So, with that being said, we're talking about wrestling, correct?
Yeah.
Well, for those that don't know, I know I put it in the description, so I don't know if you guys have seen that yet. But we're breaking this Pull Up a Chair episode into two parts. So episode 73 is today, where we covered some TV movies. We're about to cover some pro wrestling. And then tomorrow on President's Day, we're going to cover music and we're going to cover sports, just because there was so much that happened in the world over the past 2 weeks. To try to squeeze it all into one episode would have been doing it an injustice. But no, highly recommend checking out Iron Claw. Highly recommend checking out Ted Lasso. And if you got that extra time, go check out Hijack as well. And let me see what you guys think of that. So, to talk about WrestleMania, we're on the Cody roads to WrestleMania. Everything's going crazy. There's twists, turns, and curveballs and change-ups left and right going on in the wrestling world. But let's just start with the WrestleMania press conference fallout that happened a little over a week ago today. So, if you've been living under a rock with Patrick Starr, you don't know that The Rock came out. So let's rewind to square one. Cody Rhodes comes out and announces that he's going to give The Rock his WrestleMania match with Roman Reigns. So it'll be The Rock versus Roman. It's been a dream match now for a while. Immediately, hashtag we want Cody. They don't want The Rock anymore. They've turned on him. We're booing The Rock. We want Cody to finish his story. WrestleMania press conference happens. Seth Rollins kicks it off. Roman Reigns comes out. Roman Reigns then says that he is handpicking who he's going to face at WrestleMania, and he chooses The Rock. The Rock comes out, starts cutting a promo. The crowd's booing him. Some are cheering. We don't know what to do at this point. Cody Rhodes comes out and goes, nah, DJ D-Rec, cut the beat. Rock, this is bullshit. Roman, you don't get to do that. I won the Royal Rumble. I decide my fate. I'm challenging you at WrestleMania. So Rock, skeet and skedaddle. Fuck out of here. I'm getting you at WrestleMania. He then says, you want to talk about my family, which they always talk about his family. And then Cody said one thing about, the High Chief, Peter Maivia, and, your dad, they'd be disappointed. They'd be pissed. They'd be disgusted.
One time.
And The Rock does his Thanos little step up. When you talk about his blood, you're talking about mine. When you're talking about his family, you're talking about mine. Right. So then I thought that'd be a good time to use that voice. But
sounds like you're from Ireland. So like Sheamus.
Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. No, but The Rock then, he gave that little Vin Diesel acting performance. And then it, turned into, well, are we going to see a tag team on night one? Is Bayley not going to get
to be a triple threat? No.
It's going to be a fatal four-way. Where's Rikishi? No, but overall, though, now, fast forward, 2 nights ago on SmackDown, The Rock comes out, vest and all, shades, talking about Utah's trailer park trash, and which was a phenomenal way to turn the crowd. And, they're calling everybody Cody crybabies. And then at the end of the promo, though, 2 things happen. He said, Cody, I'm going to make sure that you walk out of WrestleMania a loser. But when he said that, he pointed at Roman, which is a nice little Rock nuance of like, okay, why'd you point at him? Are you going to turn him over and turn babyface again? Because only The Rock can turn heel and babyface with just one motion. Only he has that ability. It's crazy. But then he also, when they held their ones up, Jimmy Uso, Solo, Paul Heyman, and Roman all held a good one up. But when Rock held his up, he went like that, which made it think like, okay, is he like? I think The Rock is smart enough just to start here, that he realizes, okay, the crowd wants to cheer for me, but they love Cody. So when I go against Cody, they're going to boo me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just be Hollywood Rock for a month leading up to WrestleMania. And something's going to happen on WrestleMania night where, like, Roman's going to look for him to help him. And The Rock's going to, do something like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not fucking him over. To where then the crowd will be like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, yes, The Rock is good. The Rock's going to help Cody. And then maybe even, like, hit Roman with a rock bottom and, like, kind of look at Cody like, come on, man. Come on. Like, come on, I'm trying to help you. And I could see Roman, like, trying to undermine The Rock in a promo, too, like, starting this whole thing. Like, even he's acknowledged that I'm the tribal chief, and The Rock be like, for real? Like, damn, like, yeah, like, I didn't say that. But let's just start there before we work to the mid-card. How do you think this is playing out, and what do you think of how they're treating the road to WrestleMania as far as Cody's story being finished? Like, do you think it's actually going to end up being finished? Do you think that, like how Paul Heyman said last year when they said, what inning are we in? Or no, somebody said, how far along are we in this bloodline story? And that's when Paul Heyman dropped the infamous line where he said, bottom of the third. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Which means, like, they know that they're playing the long game with this whole bloodline story in itself. Some people are sick of it.
I'm just going to go purely off of what I want to happen. I'm not going to try to predict what WWE's thinking and what they're going to do and blah, blah. Like, I personally want Cody to finish the story, get Roman out, figure out if they're going to, whatever, what have you, what they're going to do with Roman and blah, 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 if he's going to go to Hollywood or if he's going to fucking flunk out. But, how are you going to do all of this again and give Cody the run again to have him lose again the same way? I'll be sick. I'll be sick of WWE. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are we doing this? Why are you going to do the same thing again? And then to the point of then when does it end? Who is going to beat him and how are they going to beat him? Because now you're going to the point where, like, the title is just so insignificant anymore. It's like, why are we even fighting for this stupid title anymore? Because this guy's just had it for the last 87 years. And it's irritating.
I mean, you make a good point. Like, at the Royal Rumble, it's like, okay, I know we're getting Roman, AJ, LA Knight, and Randy, and it's going to be a fun fatal four-way. But we know that there's not a snowball's chance in hell that Roman's not going to fucking end this match with both belts and walking up the ramp. We know it. We know it's going to happen. Like, here's the thing with WrestleMania, though. I don't really know where they're trying to take us. And I know normally I come on here and I sound like I'm right in the head of Triple H. And I know all, and I actually am pretty good at predicting this shit. But I do have to say, when it comes to this one, Triple H has me in a blender. The moment that I think I know where he's going to go, he'll rock. And I'm like, damn, having a hard time here. I think, do they want to do Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman night one? Start there. Do they want to do that?
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I could see it on night one.
And then night two, you do Cody Roman? But see, that scares me. Here's why that scares me. Because Cody can't win both those matches, and neither can Roman. But The Rock coming back for a tag match loss doesn't really sound right to me either.
And see, like, that's where, like, it gets, like, what?
Here's what I will say. I'll go with the multiple different theories. Let's subscribe to the theory that on night one of WrestleMania, they're going to go through with the tag match. Humor it. I think if they do that, the Roman and Rock win that match. Roman and Rock win against Seth and Cody. And then night two of WrestleMania, Cody finishes the story and he beats Roman Reigns. Or, and you're not going to like this one, or Cody and Seth beat The Rock and Roman Reigns on night 1, which then ultimately means Roman will keep that belt on night 2.
And honestly, I feel like that's probably like if one of those scenarios was going to be true, it's probably going to be that one. Only for the simple fact of, is he gonna out, like you said the other day, is he gonna outdo who is it?
Unless Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's
he has
title.
For those that don't know, he has to hold the belt to at least September 1st to beat Hulk Hogan's record.
So they've already went this far. What's another 6 months? You know what I mean? Like, I would hate to see. I don't want to see it, but it's like, if in my head, if that's the route that they're gonna go, then
you're gonna create those Cody crybabies. You're gonna need to get the tissues.
Don't be me. I'm being Cody crybaby, and I'm the first to admit it. I'll be sick.
Okay, well then let me humor it. What if it just popped in my head in real time? Let's go back to the tag match. Roman and Rock versus Cody and Seth. What if Rock gets the pin, but then on night 2 of WrestleMania, Roman can't pin Cody and Cody wins? Because here's how you can do this. Here's how you get the belt off Roman now, and you get him a new story. So now Cody's finished the story. He's got the title. He's won the world title that his dad never could capture. And now The Rock can then cut a promo on Roman and go, well, how are you the tribal chief if I can pin him and you can't? I pinned him fair and square, but you couldn't. I'm better than you. And then you get The Rock and Roman can long game for WrestleMania next year. So Roman can part-time, Rock can part-time, and they can do the part-time build to WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm trying to give Cody some bail. I'm trying to give him something to go off of. Yeah. But overall, though, I think it's going to be very exciting to see how this shapes up. I think there's still many twists and turns that are going to happen on the road to WrestleMania. But now let's talk a little bit about the mid-card. Talk a little mid-card stuff. How do you feel like the mid-card? Because I feel like everybody's so hyper-fixated on what's going on with the Rock, Roman, Cody shit that they're kind of forgetting that, there's a whole other 2 nights full of a card you got to make, right? So just kind of early onset predictions. Where do you fall with the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title? Like, where do you think they should go? How do you kind of feel they're going with Gunther and Logan Paul? Anything?
You're asking the wrong. I don't know.
All right, well, let's see if I can jar something.
I don't like either of those 2 people.
Let's see if I can jar something.
Enough to follow them.
Well, Gunther's been holding the Intercontinental title for going on almost 600 days. So he's held it a long time, too. I think he loses at WrestleMania. And I think he's going to lose. I'm not sure which night. But I think they're building for Gunther and Jey Uso at WrestleMania. I would like to see Jey get a belt.
I
think Jey will beat Gunther.
I'd like to see him get a belt, yeah.
And I think immediately Gunther isn't even going to activate a rematch clause. I think they want to get Gunther in the World Heavyweight title picture.
Okay, I can see that kind of. I don't really like Gunther. I don't really watch him too much, but I could
He's really good.
I could see them wanting to do that with his type of, like, character and the way his wrestling is and all that stuff. I could see that. But again, I don't really.
Yeah, I think the workhorse title would be a great one for him.
Yeah,
I think
he strikes me as that type of, like, just like that's
he's durable. He's reliable.
People, right?
What
is he with those? The guy like the. Oh God, I can't remember his name. We were saying it for a while. That little phrase. I can't remember.
Oh shit!
Is he with those people? Was he with those guys before? Or no?
No.
Okay,
never mind.
So.
He's with Imperium. Like Ludwig Kaiser. They come out.
Oh.
Okay. That in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that in general. Yeah, he's with them, okay. Imperium.
Yeah.
But overall, though, I think that Jey Uso is going to beat him at WrestleMania, though, and capture the Intercontinental title. But on the other side of the mid-card titles, I think LA Knight is going to beat Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I think they want to get that feud going. I know there's kind of a KO Logan Paul thing going on, so I know that they might go that route.
Okay, but is Usher going to do the intro for LA?
Yeah, LA Knight said that he wants Usher to do Yeah at WrestleMania and perform for him, and they actually, somebody on the internet, because nobody works faster than them, already put together like how it would go. And I do think it would create for a great moment if you got Usher going and he goes, and I told you, I said, and the crowd, yeah. I think would just be such a great moment to hear that song go a little bit different. And letting LA Knight get that big pop. You get Usher dancing and followed him to the ring and the whole crowd just dancing and vibing to yeah, I think would be just absolutely incredible. So I do think LA Knight will capture the U.S. title at WrestleMania. And I know people, I know I got to get him into the main event picture. I want to see LA Knight main event. But I think they want to go the Cena route and let him hold that U.S. title and add extra prestige to it before he gets propelled into a world title picture. So I think that would be absolutely amazing to see him get it. And as we build on the road to WrestleMania, I'll be sharing more predictions as well regarding like the tag titles, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley. I still do believe that they're going to turn the Bayley match into a triple threat and have it be Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io. But as Rhea Ripley said, Io Shirai, botched her name. But I think that's going to be incredible. I'm really loving this build to WrestleMania because for once, normally, I feel like we'd be able to say what the whole card's going to look like. And now it's like there's so many things up in the air. I'm really excited to see how they build it. And just overall excited to just be a part of the road to WrestleMania. And now I love having the pod where I can share these takes. But with that being said, before we close out of here, there was one more thing that I did want to cover that actually happened about a week and a half ago. And because we didn't do any pull up a chair last week, I definitely wanted to save it and I wanted to talk about it. So I know normally we talk about AEW, but we're going to talk about a different promotion for a second. TNA has fired their president, Scott D'Amore, who was longtime president for TNA. Immediately, there was so much talent that came out. I mean, immediately when they fired him, they killed the backstage morale. I mean, he was a hands-on president. He seemed like a great guy. There was many different cases where talent said that he would actually give them bonuses, like under-the-table bonuses, just to like help with their families and shit. Wow. And apparently they booted him out, though, because he always was trying to just bring change to the product. And ultimately, TNA, for some reason, got sick of him and, got sick of him trying to pitch all these different ideas and elevate the company, that they got rid of him.
Companies are so weird. Corporate companies are, like, so crazy.
Yeah, damn you for trying to make us a better wrestling company. Like, fucking what? Asshole. He was pretty much like dude in Moneyball. Hey, I need more money if you want this to succeed and be better. You won't give it to me. I'm going to try everything I can within the show to improve it. I make all these changes to it. You guys don't like it. I'm pissing you off. I need more money. We do that circle over and over again. TNA said, we hate this guy. Get him out of here. But with that being said, first off, I think we both just kind of said it while I was giving the preface, but I mean, that was a dumbass idea. Yeah. That was fucking stupid. Yeah. Well, you fired the guy that wants your company to succeed and fight alongside the other companies and be a rival company.
What a Dinkelberg.
Yeah, what a Dinkelberg, Dinkelbomb. Dinkle, I like Myers corn on the cob. But I do have a theory, though, because everybody was like, well, what the hell? Why would they do that? So now let's just have some fun with it, because normally, yeah, that's just a piece of news. But it got me thinking. It got this hamster turning. Oh, boy. What doesn't? What if, let's have some fun, let's humor it. I know I'm just speaking far-fetched nonsense right here, so don't take this to heart. But what if Vince McMahon pulled the craziest stunt of his whole career and bought TNA and became the president of TNA and owning the company even, maybe? And he took it over.
Would there be like some sort of clause or something in like that he can like a non
or
something?
With all of his legal stuff going on right now, I don't even think a transaction like that could take place.
Oh, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon bought it.
Oh, Shane McMahon bought it. Okay, I didn't even think that. He's
bitter. He's bitter towards WWE and all the wrestlers for fucking for everything that happened in the locker room and all this, that, and the other. And he's fucking buying TNA
and booking himself as the star.
I'm gonna run. Now I'm Vince McMahon.
He just walks right up to Ziggler. Give me that fucking title. It's mine now, motherfucker. You're jobbing, baby. Get back out there, Dolph or Nick Nemeth, whatever. But That is what Shane would do, though, if he bought the company. Before we even get
This is mine. This is mine.
I'm going to win every single match. Nobody's going to look more over than me. I'm going to look like God, and I will win this title. And I'll do it in the most extreme match that you've ever seen. I will jump off of the building.
I'm actually going to wrestle on fire.
We're going to have a street fight, and I'm going to elbow drop or whatever he does off the top of the fucking arena. That's where he... I can see it right now. Shane puts the guy on like a parked car. Oh my God! Shane's scaling the building! He just keeps going up there.
Shane's actually Spider-Man.
Yeah, no ladder, no nothing. You're like, how's he doing this? You're like, how's he doing this? Bare hand? He's just scaling the building. He's scaling the Kia Forum. How's he doing this? Shane Spider-Man McMahon. I can see it right now. He comes out. Kind of like in Spider-Man 1, where Spider-Man fought Macho Man. He's just like glued on the top of the steel cage. They're like, get down from there, Shane. He's like, hold on. Bam. Or what if he landed like Spider-Man? He just lands in the middle of the ring. Like, what the hell? What the fuck? Shane's insane. But, yeah, that would be nuts, though, because that was kind of like in 2001. Remember with the invasion angle? I say that like you were watching live, too. Where they cut the WCW. And, like, I love stories about it, too, because Booker T's like, I just thought it was just a regular night of work. And he goes, I showed up. I'm in the locker room. And he said, I got the door open. And he goes, and I see Shane McMahon walk by. He's like, what? Like, yeah, okay, that's weird. And then all of a sudden, halfway through WCW, Shane McMahon's just standing in the middle of the ring. Yeah, Dad, I bought WCW. And I bought ECW to rival WWE. But no, I think it would be more funnier, though. And I know I'm not talking about all the serious allegations that are out about him right now. I know it's very serious. Vince McMahon has a special seat at the fucking table in hell. In fact, he might even be the head of it at this point. Hitler, move over.
He's the head of the table.
He just shows up. Does the Vince McMahon strut into hell. Wow. You're fired. I'm Satan. You can't fire me. I run this joint. Nah, you don't anymore. I bought it. Saddam's just holding Satan's hand. Over this way, buddy. Let's go to catering. But where all the dinner rolls are on fire.
WWE promotion. No, it is a promotion now. Hell's a promotion.
Oh, God. The dream match is there. But Vince McMahon, though, what if he bought TNA? To go against WWE.
I'm still on the dream matches that are the people that are in the middle.
Oh, there's got to be so many. Vince McMahon's gonna walk right in there. Chris Benoit, my guy. Chris Benoit. Where's Chris? He's putting Stalin in a crossface right now. He's a little busy. He'll be back over here. CT don't exist down here either. He's thinking straight. But we got in our marquee main event in hell. In one corner, we got Chris Benoit. Other corner, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. In this corner.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there. I almost went even darker, but no, we're going there. I'll pump the brakes. Hitler's on commentary. That'd be crazy. I don't think Chris Benoit's a Jew though, so I think he might let him go over. Oh, we're falling into the abyss now.
Oh goodness. Okay, so back on
track.
Yeah,
back on track before we get too off the rails and get canceled here. But I just think it would be hilarious if Vince buys TNA.
That really would.
He comes taking the strut out there. I will kill my own. I can see the promo now. You tried to kick me out. You closed the doors. While I rise up, I will kill my own promotion. I will run the WWE into the ground. I just know, though, that the best joke of it all, nobody would be more hurt than Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. And he'd go, no, you can't do this to me. You have any idea how much I've sacrificed?
I'm also going to just make a small little comment that I don't like that his name is now Nick Nemeth. Only solely because we watched that promo, and I just did not like the way that guy said Nick Nemeth. And now it totally tainted his entire existence now.
That buried Ziggler for you?
Yeah, it did. It did. I didn't.
Yeah, Dolph sees Vince, though, walking through the backstage. He just goes, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's okay. And then he just goes out and looks at the match card. Nick Nemeth versus whoever the fuck. I'm jobbing. Damn it. Vince McMahon, if you think for 1 second I'm letting you get a clean pinfall, Ziggler, go fuck yourself. That's exactly what he would say to him. Ziggler was one of the best wrestlers for WWE for years, and I feel like he would just casually like knock on the office door like, maybe an Intercontinental title shot? No, I'm jobbing. Okay. Oh, I'm jobbing on the pre-show. Okay. Oh, it's not even televised. Oh, damn. Who am I jobbing to? Man, I don't even know the guy's name. We just pulled him out of an indie scene. He's just here for one night, but you're losing to him. Oh. Like oh shit. But no, I think wherever TNA is heading, I think it'll be interesting. I'm kind of actually keeping an eye on the brand, which I don't usually keep an eye on that promotion, but I'm kind of keeping a closer eye to it. But overall, though, I'm so glad that you threw out that about Shane McMahon. Not Shane jumping off the Kia Forum. Shane, you have a family. Come on, dude. But no, I just wanted to like I said at the beginning, I wanted to pull up a chair into 2 different episodes. One today, one tomorrow. So thank you guys for being tuned in today. Thank you guys for being tuned in to Sleepless Radio episode 181 last night. Had an absolute blast. SRV got the win 8-6. God, it was a close one. It was a slugfest. And I'm, of course, excited to see what we got planned for this weekend. Just throwing this out there now, and I'll throw it out there tomorrow and pull up a chair as well. This upcoming Saturday, which I'll be talking more about it tomorrow, is my Drake and Cole and Dirk show now. It's all a Blur tour. Really excited for that. So we're going to be doing a pod on Saturday, but there will be no Sleepless Radio next Saturday night. I know. Boo, 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 boo. I suck. But next Sunday, though, we will have Sleepless Radio episode 182. Going to have a great one planned as well for y'all. Pull up a chair next week. Lil Loverboy animated video tomorrow up on YouTube. Lil Loverboy out now. All DSPs, all streaming platforms. That means Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, Weezer, Pornhub, Spotify. It is there. Wherever you listen to music. When Vampires Go Surfing, coming soon. Thank you to my beautiful wife for joining us on Pull Up a Chair. With that being said, keep the love high and the hate low. Wake up with a smile on. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself and 3 things that you're grateful for. And go check out the new music. Merch available now, limited time. We will be pulling it off soon within the next week and then getting another merch drop geared up as well to go with When Vampires Go Surfing. So thank you all who've been patient for that. Lil Loverboy, Night, God Raw, Godspeed. Up now, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. Go to it. It is there. Thank you guys for being tuned in. Pull Up a Chair episode 73. Keep the love high and the hate low. And stay safe and stay cozy. Peace.